Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about harvesting yeast. So typically for harvesting yeast, what you're going to do is at the end of a batch of beer, you're going to see that giant yeast cake at the bottom of the beer, right? So you rack all the fermented liquid off of it into, say, a keg or a bottling bucket or secondary. But you ask yourself, what do you do with the rest of the yeast? So with that, what you're going to do is first remove all the liquid. Next from there, what you're going to want to do is take some distilled water that you can buy from the store and fill the bottom of that resin or cake of yeast at the bottom. What you're going to do is just rinse this over it. And the reason why you want to do this is you want to get the yeast back in the solution. You can start by adding about a quarter of a gallon to begin with, and then just give everything a big swirl. You're just trying to get all that stuff into suspension, because in this part is hot material and other solids and proteins that are precipitated out. Once you've done that, flip it on its side like this, and then you're going to want to put a stopper or your thing on the side. You're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes, and what you should see over time is it starts to settle out. And eventually what you'll get is a big precipitate at the bottom and a milky white layer at the top. Remove the stopper from your carboy. Pour off the best you can just the milky layer from the top. This is going to contain all the yeast is now in suspension. You want to leave behind all those solids. So do this slowly, pouring into another container, such as a 1 gallon jug or a mason jar or something else. Now once all the liquid has been removed, flip the carboy back on top, and you can do a second washing of that sediment at the bottom of the fermenter. So again, just add more distilled water to this, rinsing the sides down, and you can add another about quarter to half a gallon of water. Give the fermenter a shake to kind of resuspend the yeast back into solution. Put the stopper back on top and flip it on its side. Take your other container that has your yeast and put a cap on top of that to prevent contamination. What you should see now is after about 30 minutes, more of that yeast will start to settle out in your second container. And if you come back to your main fermenter, again, you're going to see more yeast is settled out. So you want to keep the white milky layer on top. So just remove the cap from your container that has all your yeast decant to it, and pour the white milky layer into your 1 gallon jug. And after the final washing, pour the yeast solution into 3 sanitized mason jars, using a funnel to assist in the process. Once this is complete, screw the caps on the mason jars and place it in the fridge. This process will cause the yeast to precipitate out of solution and form a yeast cake at the bottom, which can be used in future batches by creating a yeast starter linked above. And with that, I want to say thank you for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if this video was helpful, give it a like, drop a comment down below to let me know what type of yeast you're harvesting, and just thank you. See you next time.